Hey there. Today we are playing Pioneer Jeskai Ascendancy. I just uploaded a modern version of this deck last week. You can go check that out. But today we're playing its Pioneer equivalent, where there is no Force of Vigor to wreck our day, which is a pretty big improvement. No Force of Negation either. So your Jeskai Ascendancies are going to be a lot more effective. The trade-off is that this deck does not go infinite. There's no weird combo to keep on going forever and ever. Instead, this deck is a little bit more like a value deck where we have Expressive Iteration, we have Omnath, and even Escape to the Wilds. So this deck is looking to go really big, but not infinite. And I think it's just a little bit more of a fair deck in that regard. And then one benefit is we have Radiant Flames for the red decks, which is pretty crucial in my opinion, because those red decks, as you might have seen in my video from earlier on this week, the mono blue Lotus Field combo deck, those red decks are very popular right now. So Radiant Flames is pretty huge. And you also have Chain to the Rocks as removal. So this deck has a little bit more gameplay to it than Lotus Breach, or I'm sorry, than Lotus Combo, not Lotus Breach. Breach is banned. But yeah, so I've never played this deck before. I'm going to be learning. If I misplay, I'm sorry, but it's probably going to happen at some point. Just letting that out now. Yeah, and then in the sideboard, we have Monastery Mentor as a juke plan. We also have Portable Hole. I've actually played Monastery Mentor plus Ascendancy in Standard, so we'll see if I still have the muscle memory to win with it. And then the rest of the board is mainly just other, powerful effects like Mystical Dispute, a Fry for Narset, more copies of Radiant Flames, and then this Gigantha is a companion. You'll notice that there's nothing in our deck that's double costed. Playing Gigantha is pretty free, and it works incredibly well if you can live the dream of going Gigantha into Jeskai Ascendancy. I mean, I would love to do that at least once in my life. Let's see if this can be the time that we do it. And then Grafdigger's Cage and Emrakul. I'm not really sure what Emrakul's for, if I'm being honest. Maybe I'll find out, but I'm not quite sure. If you have any questions or anything else, feel free to leave those in a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them, but I'm not a deck expert. This is literally my first time playing it. Hopefully it goes well. But that's what I've got. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in match number 1. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. That said, there's no better way of showing your support than becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks, and we get to keep making combo content. The perks get better and better each level you go up. They also stack. To start off, with our Storm Fan tier, you unlock our private members section of our Discord, which comes with a highlighted user profile and then some awesome badges and emotes for YouTube. Looking for sideboard help? Become a Stormtrooper, our middle tier, for 2 sideboard guides of your deck choice every single month, on top of 50% off donation decks. Did we mention you also get 10% off merchandise from our shop? With our top tier, the Combo Cabal, you get a free donation deck every single month, 15% off merchandise from our shop, early access to private deck lists, and the most valuable perk in my opinion, videos early. That's right, you heard it, early access to all videos. But maybe sweet perk, secret deck list, early access to videos isn't for you, but you'd still like to show your appreciation. Make sure to check out theepicstorm.com/shop for card singles and Storm swag. Please don't forget to use your membership discounts. Finally, if you want to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel, make sure to visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks, where all you have to do is attach your TXT file and pick a donation tier. With our Epic tier, you can even join me in a video to showcase your bold brew in person and explain the ins and outs of your strategy. Card availability won't be an issue due to our new sponsor, Card Hoarder. With Card Hoarder, renting is super easy. If you're looking to get into Magic Online, there isn't a better, more affordable solution than Card Hoarder. Fun fact, you can rent the Epic Storm for 7 tickets a week, which is just a great deal. There are many ways you can support us. Just pick whatever is best for you. In the meantime, let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the play with Jeskai Ascendancy. Revealed this Gigantha. I actually bought a Japanese foil Gigantha this month For $1.50, that's how you know it's good. And honestly, I was pretty stoked that it was that cheap. I think that this card is a little bit underrated, if I'm being completely honest. I think that more decks should likely be playing it, but that's another thing. So let's just hop right on in. And do we want to keep this? We have turn 2 Carroted plus some interaction. I think that this is a keep. Leading off on the Ketrias. Alright, or Ketria, it's not plural. Okay, so let's find out what our opponent's playing. Island. So likely is it? Draw. Ooh, that was a good one. Yes. Play the Carrotid and pass the turn. Consider. Okay. Dig through time. I would love to be able to slam Ascendancy. And looks like we're not going to get to do that. So, blue, red, expressive iteration. Well, that stinks. So, let's put the Ascendancy to our hand. Screws on the bottom. Then considers the card we can play this turn, but I can't cast it, so we have to pass the turn. There is no way of me being able to cast this Consider because we needed either blue or red off either of these mana sources. So Consider just wasn't an option. I was secretly hoping to just hit a land off that, and it didn't work out. Okay, yeah, another Carrotid. Let's try another expressive iteration. See if this resolves. We were absorbed. Okay. Mana number 4. Draw. Fabled Passage. I think I'm gonna try to slam Ascendancy here. Come on, resolve. Boo. I knew that was a possibility. Just go get an island. I'm hoping that by casting the first one, and this was my game plan all along, is that our opponent gets a little bit brave and then taps out so that way the second one resolves. 5 mana and passing the turn. Okay. I think I'm going to try to... maybe I'm supposed to play around Consider again. Alright. Let's do green, red, Omnath. Or Censor, I said Consider. I meant Censor. Another Absorb, okay. These Change of the Rocks not looking so hot here. And there's Narset, which is going to stop our Jeskai Ascendancy. Memory Deluge. Okay, so they're definitely in the driver's seat here. Does this resolve? It does, but it doesn't matter because we're so far behind. Okay, so Narset is in play. We cannot draw up the Ascendancy. It can get larger, but our creatures have Defender. Shark Typhoon. Okay, Teferi. They did not tuck the Ascendancy. Kind of surprising. Draw. That is not what the doctor ordered. I think they've got me. I'm just going to go to the next game. We could have put Gigantha to our hand, but we're just so far behind that I'm not going to come back. We definitely want the Fry in these disputes. Get rid of the Chain to the Rocks. And then this Radiant Flames. Do we want to make any other adjustments? Monastery Mentor does not seem bad here. That's a card that I'm interested in. What else goes out, though? I'm not an expert with this deck. Maybe a Growth Spiral? I don't really know. Maybe a couple copies of Omnath? It's probably better. Let's do this. Omnath seems a little bit clunky against the control deck. Alright, revealing Gigantha once again. Turn to Sylvan. Sure, let's do it. Turn 1 Ketria once again. Whoops. Pass the turn. Turn 1 Island. We're just going to play Carroted here. We have Fry. That was a pretty good draw. Being able to answer Narset. Consider. You got it. Alright, so they're going to have Censor up this turn. Just something to keep in the back of your head. And why don't we just play another Carroted here? I can consider on their turn. I guess if I do it now, I could theoretically hit a land. I don't want to play into their Force Spike effect, especially then allowing them to untap. I'm going to consider now. I would like the land. So this does telegraph that we don't have Mystical Dispute for Narset. That said, we have the Fry, so it doesn't really matter to begin with. And if they tap out for Narset here, we can go Omnath, Fabled Passage, Fetch. And they did not tap out. Surprise, surprise. I think I'm just going to put the Gigantha to her hand. Pass the turn. Okay, so they've got a pretty stocked graveyard at this point. Land go, it's what this deck does. We need to draw some Mystical Disputes. Ascendancy. I mean, I think we just play the Gigantha here. I mean, if they want to use a counterspell on our Elemental Elk, feel free. It has been absorbed. And they're cycling Censor. Still 7 cards in hand. Okay. Draw. Hinterland Harbor. Let's try Omnath. A little bit of a bummer. Okay. Cannot pay for it. I think I'm just going to pass. Okay, so they're down to 5 cards now, going up to 6 with their draw step. We're just looking for an opening. Now you're not giving one. Draw. Another Omnath. Okay. Try it out. Dig through time. Does Omnath resolve? Oh my, Omnath actually resolved. That's crazy. Okay, let's auto yield. We gain some life. Now we're going to fetch and make mana. Grab the island. And let's try a Jeskai Ascendancy. Chose to counter that. Okay, so we have 5 in the graveyard, so Treasure Cruise would cost 3. Okay, let's try it out. Consider. So unfortunately, I am putting myself open to Mystical Dispute here. Oh, we're getting destroyed. It's going to remove the Treasure Cruise in my hand. That hurts. Yep. We just have to pass the turn now. Probably get wrecked by a Wrath effect here. That hurt a lot. The fairy. Sure. Fucking our Omnath. Draw. Okay, so we can kill Teferi. Move to combat. Back to Teferi and then 6 at them. Just making sure that this is going at Teferi. Okay, so they're going to take 6, not that it matters, but they'll go to 15. Teferi dies. And they know that we have Fry. Sure. Settle the wreckage. Okay. Let's kill the Narset. Draw. That is not a feel good. Alright, we just have to pass. Make this scry with their Castle Vantress. I think we're probably just dead here. This did not feel like a particularly favorable matchup. That said, I never drew any copies of Mystical Dispute either. And another Narset. Okay, I've seen enough. I'm just going to go to the next match. Unfortunately, we're starting this video off 0-1. If you haven't joined them already, I would recommend opening up our description down below and joining our 7 social media networks. They're each great in their own way, but I would strongly suggest joining our Discord server. In there, you will find others just like you looking to improve their Storm game and grow as a combo community. If you're a member of our YouTube channel, you should sync your account to Discord to unlock our private member section that has the latest and greatest deck lists, concepts, and much, much more. Let's get back to comboing out. Another chance at glory. Match number 2. We're on the play. Reveal our Elk, not made by Oko, and let's see what we can do. Polaris of the Dream Den. Okay. Radiant Flames is usually pretty good against those decks. We're going to try this out. Mulligans to 6. Triome. Pass. Inspiring Vantage. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so the game plan right here is that in response to Eidolon or the Great Revel or what else our opponent tries to play, we're going to cast Growth Spiral and Consider. That is not an Eidolon or the Great Revel. You have officially lit up the stage. Okay, so now we're going to Spiral. Put this Glacial Fortress into play and then cast Consider. I'm going to bin it. Another Consider, okay. Getting me closer and closer to casting this Treasure Cruise. Let's cast another Consider. I can go to the graveyard. And another Cruise. Alright, unfortunately I cannot put Gigantha to my hand right now, but maybe next turn. Actually, that's not true. I would just cast Treasure Cruise before I did that, but, you know, maybe at some point. So they have to use these Soul Scars or lose them. Alright, so they've played them. I'm at 18. I don't feel the pressure here to necessarily cast. Ooh. Well, that changes things. So now I get to play Ascendancy. And oh, I tapped wrong. Who's a big dummy? This guy. Well, that hurt. I was going to chain to the rocks right there, and I can no longer do that. So instead, we're going to take some damage from Soulscar Mage. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. And we are playing with fire. So they're going to get a free scry off this because they targeted me. What a dummy. I could have just tapped slightly differently and that would have worked. I thought, I mean, if I'm being honest, my mic is directly in front of me, like right here. So when I looked at this, I thought it was the other Triome. No excuses, like it's my own fault. I could have double checked, but that's what happened is I thought it was the proper Triome. Must be a pretty difficult scry. Well, I have some bad news. Our opponent decided to go away. They never disconnected, they just lost the match, 10 minutes of inactivity. So unfortunately, that's how we're going to get our first match win. That is match number 2. Match number 3 will be coming up just shortly. Sorry about this. I know it's not exactly what you want out of a video, but I can't control it. So match 3, here we come. Playing your favorite combo deck in Paper just got so much easier with the Epic Storm Mini Token Pack. You can pick one up at theepicstorm.com/shop for $13. It includes 64 double-sided mini tokens. That's 128 tokens total. And they include 10 black, 10 blue, 10 red, 5 green, 5 white, 3 colorless, 20 storm counters. That means that you can count your way all the way up to 20 for Grape Shot, everyone's favorite Stormwind condition, a Galvanic Relay Exile Indicator, 4 treasure tokens for Strike It Rich, and then 10 monk tokens for our vintage friends. It also has Slime Time Live, 8 Progenitor Ooze tokens with the power and toughness already built in to make playing in Paper so much easier. No fumbling around with dice. We've got you covered. Make sure to go grab those if you're playing Modern. And then Squirrels versus Goblins, Chatterstorm versus Empty the Warrens, the Battle of the Ages. You definitely need 20 Squirrel tokens and 20 Goblin tokens. You're going to love this mini token pack, I promise. And once again, you can grab that at theepicstorm.com/shop. Match 3, and once again, we're on the play. We're running hot. I mean, we've been on the play most of the, or actually all 3 matches. So we have Ascendancy. I think that means we're supposed to keep it. So let's do that. Okay, we're going to lead on Ragran Triome and pass the turn. Pop out our Gigantha. Plane. Take 2 here. That way I can cast these, the Growth Spiral on their end step. Not really sure what they're playing quite yet. Visionary. Still not quite sure. I will say one thing though, and I don't mean this meanly. I knew that our opponent wasn't playing a blue deck based on their selection of planes. Just people that play blue tend to be very particular about their basics because they like being in control of things. And blue players just tend to pick nicer basics, so I wasn't surprised when they played a green source here. Okay, so let's remove a land from our deck. White, red, blue, Jeskai Ascendancy. And just to make this easier on myself, let's auto yield to this. Auto yield. Auto yield. Yes. Discard the island. Okay. Yeah, that can go to our graveyard. Alright, so next turn we're going to be able to cast this Treasure Cruise. Aether Hub. Haven't seen that in a while. Ooh, that hurts. I am not a fan of that. Okay. Draw. Let's cast this Consider. Let's take that and remove that stupid Skyclave. So we'll get a 3/3, but we will not get our Ascendancy back. And that's 6, so I think what I want to do here is blue-green. Let's play Growth Spiral. Put the Hallowed Fountain into play. That gives us 7, so that we can now delve Treasure Cruise. We can still play a land if we draw 1. Okay, the blue. I think I'm just going to play it. You could hold it for the Omnath, but I don't think that's necessary. Okay. The second energy. Sure. Omnath now costs 6 mana. Arabian Inspector, you got it. Okay, so we can tap out and play the Omnath on our turn. I think that's probably just the best decision here. Apparently I never tap for green. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, past the turn. I suppose I can attack. Okay. So we'll take 3 from the Elite Spellbinder and fall down to 12 life. This could be a game where we look to Giganta for what it's worth. Okay, so they might have a collecting company here. Escape to the Wilds. I mean, I think we should probably cast that card. Because it allows us to play an extra land while digging for a land to trigger the second landfall on Omnath. So the Fabled Passage was good. Let's auto yield here. Now we fetch. And the Collected Company. I mean, I mentioned that I thought that they had it. Or maybe I just thought it in my head, but I thought I said it out loud. Another Elite Spellbinder. Okay. Sure. You got it. What's the deal 4 damage on this again? Each opponent and planeswalker, not creatures. I didn't think it did, but I wanted to make sure. Grab the mountain, why not? So now this is going to make 4 or 5 mana. Is it 4 or 5? 4. Non-black, that would make sense. Okay, so let's play the Ascendancy, I guess. Play the land for turn. So dealt 4 that time. Just wanted to make sure. So if I'm correct about this, even if I find the land spell, the Awakening, it doesn't untap the creature, so I won't be able to make enough mana this turn to win the game. I'm gonna try the express. Oh, I can't cast that. Costs 2 more. I'm gonna cast a Consider then. Alright, so trigger the Ascendancy. So I found it, but it doesn't untap our lands. I needed 1 more mana. Damn. Let's play Chain to the Rocks. Yes. Discard Ketria, that's fine. And then play Carotid, pass the turn. Well, we're going to attack for 11 and pass the turn. Unfortunately, this just wasn't enough to win. Jeskai Ascendancy like can go bonkers in this deck with either the Sylvan Awakening or Gigantha, but it's really not an infinite draw deck like it is in Modern. When Ascendancy rotated out of Standard, I thought it was crazy that they were like only a quarter. So I have like 50 or 60 Ascendancies that will just like, I'm hoping that one day they just spike because like the deck's finally good in something. Maybe that something's Pioneer, but I have a whole lot of them and they just conceded. Okay, that's cool. At one point they hit $4 and I managed to sell like 8 of them, but I still just have a buttload of Ascendancies. So they're playing an all-in creature deck, so I probably want all 3 copies of Radiant Flames. And I don't know. Is it crazy to cut the Escape to the Wilds? I don't know. I'm gonna try it out. And then like maybe an Expressive. Or maybe this seems like the type of matchup that Omnath is made for, so I don't really want to board it out. I just don't have a whole lot of experience playing this deck, so I'm not sure. Let's try this, I guess. Okay, we'll reveal Gigantha. No red source for this Radiant Flames. A little bit risky. I think I'm just going to mulligan instead. Much better hand. Much, much, much better. I think we just bottom the island. This is a hand that wants to party. Okay. You have played a Thraben Inspector. Play Triumph Pass. What we're looking to do here is untap with the Ascendancy. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we need to untap with it because of the Sylvan Awakening. We don't have enough mana to do it all in one swift action. Now we fall the 19 off the Inspector. Kind of surprised to see the Hallowed Fountain, if I'm being honest, after not seeing any blue in game number 1. Okay. Sure. Interland Harbor. Cruise was a good pickup. And we'll just play the Carotid. They're going to pop their clue. Yep. As expected. Land number 3. Spellbinder. So they're probably going to remove the Ascendancy here. And that's fine. We can just go get our Gigantha and set that up. Looks like they chose nothing? They must have misclicked. Okay. I think I want to keep the Change of the Rocks back. Unless they did it on purpose, but then, like, why wouldn't you take Sylvan Awakening or Treasure Cruise? It had to have been an accident. Okay, they're casting something. Skyclave. Goodbye, Ascendancy. And now we'll take 3 off the Spellbinder. Okay. So I think I want to get the Gigantha. The question is, do I remove the apparition to make a 3/3? I don't have strong opinions on this. The answer is probably just yes to buy more time. Okay. Pass the turn. We have 4 cards. Cannot block, I'll go to 13. Passing the turn. So they must have a collected company. Let's get in there. Look who's winning now. No blocks. Gigantha. No graveyard for this cruise yet. Kind of funny. And here we'll see a collected company. Yep. Another Spellbinder and a Rogue Refiner. I don't know what they're doing with the energy in this deck. Clearly they're using it for something, but I'm not sure what that something is yet. They've taken our Awakening. 6 in the air brings me down to 7. They're in a good spot right now. The Charming Prince, they get to flicker here. They're just going to gain 3, okay. So they've decided that this game is about racing, which is very fair. Draw. Omnath. It's a tough call. Because I could cast it for free off Gigantha, but then I lose a blocker. We're just going to play the Omnath, I think. Alright, so I've played Omnath for Gigantha's mana. Draw. Blue-green. Let's play Growth Spiral. So we're looking for another land off this. Another collected company, jeez. This would be a really good spot for Radiant Flames for what it's worth. Skyclave. So they can exile our Illusion or this Chain to the Rocks and get it back another Skyclave. Which is probably just the right play. Because it's a free body. Oh, it's 4 or less. My bad. For some reason I was thinking 3. So that hurts. We're probably just dead now. Okay. Spiral. Technically, we have Radiant Flames as an out here. Okay, consider. That can go to the graveyard. Not Radiant Flames. I think I'm just dead. Yeah, I'm dead. So this costs 5. So even if I play it, I'm not making any blockers. Alright, they got me. Next game. Did not go my way. I think I'd rather have the expressive. Like, I felt like those treasure cruises are sort of rotting in my hand. Ooh, maybe I want the cage? Ah, too slow. Okay. So, Gigantha? This hand is just not going to work. Way too slow. This is better. I think we just bottom one of the growth spirals. Garden Pass. We do have to draw into a red mana for the Ascendancy and the Omnath, but I think that this is a very reasonable 6 cards. Ding. Whoops, undo. Blue, green, spiral. Ketria Pass. Do I want to play directly into Dispute? I think I should just cast the Ascendancy here. Leave the Omnath back. Okay. Another Skyclave. Yep. Always with the Skyclaves. So I think a good draw for us here would be a land because we could Ascendancy plus Carotid. If we don't draw the land, I think we just play Omnath. Okay, so I think we're supposed to Ascendancy plus Carotid. Am I allowed to grab Island? Yes. So red, white, green. I'm sorry, I need blue. Where do I blue? Ascendancy plus Carotid. Okay. They still have 7 cards in hand and I'm at 1. Doesn't feel good. They get to flicker their apparition, which is just brutal here. Not a fan of that. Okay. That hurts. My feelings, that is. But yeah, that was kind of brutal. Draw. I think I want to sit on this Radiant Flames. I want to get a little bit more value out of it. Red, white, green. I said white and then I never actually tapped for white. Let's play the Omnath. Just going to cast this now, I think. Spiral. Okay, and pass the turn. So if I swing in, they could double block. And next turn, I'm trying to build up to a Radiant Flames blowout, so I don't want to trade my 3/3. Rogue Refiner. Okay. And a tap land. Draw. Red, blue, blue. Radiant Flames where X is equal to 2. Boom. Play Carotid because I can. Let's cast this Consider. And get in there. So they'll fall to 13. And then next turn we have 10 damage coming in. We're an aggro deck. Okay. So Eclectic Company is a card that could get them back into this. We haven't won yet. So a company could be a problem. Mana number 6. Reflector Mage. So that means that company's not coming down this turn. And that's just a removal spell for a token. So that works out well for them. And Charming Prince, so they can flicker the Reflector Mage and remove another token. So this was a pretty good turn for them. Yeah. All right. Draw. So this would cost 3. I think it's worth it. Let's cast Cruise. It's fine. Technically, I didn't leave a white source up, but we'll live. Chain to the Rocks. Remove the Reflector Mage. Get in with the Omnath. And they're going to fall to 9. Let's Expressive Iteration here. 1 to hand. We'll take the Sylvan Awakening. Put Radiant Flames on the bottom, and we can play the Hallowed Fountain. This gains us 4. And just going to pass. We just have lethal next turn with the Sylvan Awakening, I believe. Land number 7 for the Bant mid-range deck. Not ideal for them. It's definitely a little bit of Flood. So here they get to destroy Chain to the Rocks and get back their Reflector Mage. Pretty strong. Yep. And I cannot cast it on my next turn. Thassa. And it flickers a creature at the beginning of your end step that they don't control. Am I reading that correctly? You control. My bad. So they're flickering this, and it's going to become a 4/3, which still plays really hard into this Radiant Flames. Unfortunately, means that my Carrotids will die. Red, white, blue, Radiant Flames for 3. Then, do I want to just Sylvan Awakening? I don't know. Feels like a waste. I think I just want to put Jegantha to hand. Pass the turn. Then that's 4 mana tap a creature, which isn't even that good. Although it does help with their Flood. Okay, so they just have double tap up. Draw. I cannot chain it because it's just an enchantment right now, not a creature. So white, blue, green, red. Play the Omnath. Consider. Mill the Omnath and another consider. Sure. I'd like to find a Fabled Passage. I'm going to mill that because Fabled Passage would allow me to play the Jegantha. Alright, so I don't know. Maybe I wasn't supposed to play it. I'm just trying to get to the point where I have a critical mass of lands for the Sylvan Awakening to just be lethal. Yep. They've tapped my Omnath. If they had Collected Company, they could also cast it. Another land. Yeah, the Flood is real. Draw. Land. So tap 3 mana. I then have those. So double tap still keeps them alive. Green, white, or I'm sorry, green, blue. Let's cast the Growth Spiral. Okay. If I cycle this, I'm 1 mana short of casting the Jegantha. I'm gonna cycle it anyway. Like, I just don't need more land. Like, a land would be nice, but like, I'd like more action. Okay, I'm gonna play this one because that allows me to play the Jegantha. Play the Big Dumb Elk. Move to combat. They didn't tap my creature. Little bit of a misplay on their part. Unless they have like a Shark Typhoon or something here. Instead paying costs for another tap, sure. Rogue Refiner. Okay, so they can flicker the Rogue Refiner here. Pretty good for them, the start of a comeback. 7 energy. They can only tap down one creature. So I think we just cast the Sylvan Awakening, and that should do it. And our opponent's conceded. Alright, so that was match number 3. We are now 2-1. Hey, you're still watching. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you're looking to make a purchase from Card Hoarder, TCG Player, or Amazon and are looking to support us, you can open up our description down below, and in there you will find our affiliate links. Those same links are found on the homepage of the Epic Storm. But that's not all. We've included a Card Hoarder button on our website that will load the Epic Storm in your Card Hoarder cart to make life simple for you. On the play again, match number 4. Revealing Gigantha. And another Gigantha has been revealed. I wonder if we're playing the mirror. This seems fine. I don't know. Like, I don't think you're supposed to mulligan these hands. Okay, and I'm just going to lead off on Triome. By leading off on Regrin Triome, I'm able to cast Chain to the Rocks on turn 2 if need be. Okay, so not the mirror. And I'm just going to lazily cast this Consider. Do I want to put character through the graveyard? Probably. Oh, and I get burned by drawing Ascendancy immediately after. That hurts. Okay, draw. I'm just gonna jam the Growth Spiral. Did not find another land. I'm going to leave the Fabled Passage back though. In case we draw land, I could go Omnath, fetch Ascendancy. Maybe it is the mirror and they're just playing black. I don't know what's going on. Bummer. I think I'm going to play Omnath here. Do I want to? Like, they're likely a removal deck. I don't know. What am I doing? Can't tap that way. Need this land to be green. Red, white. Here, have an Omnath. So I hit F6 there, but it was secretly beneficial. So it was like a happy accident. I did draw a land off the Omnath because I wasn't thinking about if I could play a land or not. But it's almost a good thing because next turn I can use the mana to play Jeskai Ascendancy if I hit another land with Growth Spiral. What is this? Bring to Light. Okay. Valky. Oh, they get that half of Valky. That hurts. Forgot about that. Jeez Louise. Didn't realize that I was facing Bring to Light. Undo. Red. Alright, so I need to do white here, then red off this land. And I can't cast the Chain to the Rocks. Well, I guess I could. This doesn't do me any good here. Dreadbore. Our best draw is likely the Sylvan, whatever it's called. That hurt. Let's grab another mountain. We do have another Ascendancy, but it has to resolve. Oh, I thought I was casting Jeskai Ascendancy. That did not happen. Whoops. That was just a silly move on my part. Okay, so let's tap for red. Blue, play another one. I will gladly discard a card here. Pass the turn and hope that this one lives. Oh, looks like they accidentally have 6 through their turn. That was very quick. Okay, so this is the only one that taps for green, so we'll play the Sylvan Awakening here. Okay. Discard the forest. I think I'm still allowed to play Chain to the Rocks. Blue, red, blue. Yeah, I don't need a target. It's just once it resolves, the target fizzles. Okay, so white, white, red, it doesn't matter. Green, blue, blue, red. Let's play Growth Spiral. Yes. Discard the chain. Okay, let's make some more mana. Let's put the Gigantha to our hand. And then cast Consider. Yes. Discard Carotid, we don't need that. Consider. That seems pretty good. Add a green. Play Expressive Iteration. Yes. Discard Carotid. Hand. Bottom can play Hinterland Harbor, I guess. All these can tap for... I should have been doing that the whole time. What am I doing? Okay. Yes. Alright, so they're up to 7/7s. How far do I need to go? This is probably fine, right? Ugh. If I get fogged here, I'm gonna be so sad. Alright, and they just can see. Well, that was fun. I got to do the thing. Probably want these disputes. Get rid of Chain to the Rocks. Probably don't need the Radiant Flames. Cage seems pretty good here. Is this the match for Ember? I just don't know what this is for. I just don't know. I'm just gonna click submit. Okay, so once again, revealing our Gigantha here. Kind of a slow hand. I don't know, maybe it's fine. Triumph. Turn 2 Carotid. Strong start for them. And we drew another land. Alright, so I don't think you're supposed to play Expressive Iteration on turn 2. I think you kind of just have to wait. Try to get a little bit more value out of it. Expressive Iteration for the opponent. Okay. Ascendancy. Alright, I think I'm going to just try to jam here. Blue, red, white, Ascendancy. It's not even that good, but who knows. One has Mana Confluence. Is this a Bring to Light? It is not. It's Nahiri the Harbinger. So they're going to exile our Ascendancy. Kind of a bummer. And we're not doing a whole lot here, unfortunately. Like, Expressive. Okay, we can play the Cage this turn. That's pretty good. That stops Bring to Light. It's worth noting that Nahiri's Plus doesn't cast it from the library. It just puts it into play, so I don't think... Never mind, the first half of Cage stops that. Or at least stops the creature half. It says artifact or creature. Although Cage should stop this Bring to Light. I guess not? What? Is that bugged? I feel like that's a bug. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Players can't cast spells from graveyards. Like, that seems like our opponent just abused a bug. Kind of sketchy if that's the case. Let's expressive again. Jeez. Okay, so we can play the Triome. Throw Spiral. I feel like that's not how that interaction's supposed to go. Exile that card, then shuffle. Okay, so it's the exile clause that gets around it. I see. Okay, so it's not a bug. I just can't read. So maybe that card shouldn't be in my deck then. Might want to be like Aether Gust or something. Okay, so they're going to get an Omnath trigger here. Now they make 4 mana. Okay, so Nahiri's up to 6. I'm definitely in trouble. Okay. Draw. That was step 1. Green. Red. Blue. Play Omnath. Okay, so I'm going to gain 4. Go get Island. Throw Spiral, and this should deal 4 to each of their Planeswalkers. 5 cards in the graveyard. I could play Ascendancy, I just don't know what the point is. It's just going to get exiled to the Nahiri. But I could get an Ascendancy trigger off it. I think I should just cruise. So I found the Sylvan Awakening, but it doesn't win right now, unfortunately. Okay, we just have to pass the turn. I have to make it through this turn in order to win. Okay, so they exile the Omnath, which was kind of expected. Now they get an Omnath trigger. 5 cards in hand. It's a lot. So we discard 2. We can just get rid of these lands. Yeah, I think it's the lands. I'd rather have a second Sylvan Awakening just in case of a counterspell. They're holding up 6 mana, which makes me feel a little bit uneasy. Aggressive Iteration. Does this resolve? Okay. What about this? Okay. Looks like they might have removal for the Ascendancy. Nothing I can do to stop that. Okay, let's just go get him out, I suppose. Third Triome. So the bright side is I can kill the 2 walkers here. Tibalt. Tibalt. Nahiri. Nahiri. Get in there. I guess they can make one of them live. Did they miss block? They must have. That was weird. But we're just gonna pass the turn. Notion Thief. Okay, so that would have been pretty good. What do you have now? Niv Mizzet. Strong. Okay. Notion Thief, K command, bring to light to hand. I don't know how I like my odds anymore. Bring to light. What are you getting? Go blank. Powerful card. I think I'm just dead. Like, even if I draw Jeskai's Ascendancy, I can't win. Speaking of the devil. Damn. They got me. We just need to go to the next game. And once again, I drew 0 mystical disputes. Saw half my deck that game. Alright, let's just try to get the 4th one. Or, I'm sorry, the 3rd one. Let's get this cage out of the deck. That can be an Aether Gust. I wonder if I want Mentor. Mentor's probably better than Omnath. Let's try this out. I feel like our opponent's deck is a little bit weak to Mentor. Yes, I would like to be on the play. Reveal our Gigantha. Okay, so this seems pretty reasonable to me. I'm going to keep this. I think we lead on just like Island off Fabled Passage, turn 2 Hinterland Harbor Carotid. Okay. Just go grab Island. Overrun Tomb. Draw. Dispute. We finally drew one. Okay. Draw. I'm not going to play that quite yet. Pass the turn. On their end step, I'll probably cast Consider. Although you could argue that maybe I'm supposed to hold it. I don't know. Let's cast it. Alright, I definitely like the Spare Dispute. A little bit awkward. So, red, white. Dispute your dispute. Okay, so we have an Ascendancy. I had a feeling that was coming. I don't know what to discard here. I feel like I'm supposed to keep the Sylvan Awakening. Expressive Iteration? Damn. I mean, I could try to Sylvan Awakening here and get the trigger, but it feels a little bit greedy. That said, if they have a Bring to Light next turn, I get hit by Go Blank again. Alright, so I think I'm just going to cast it. Hopefully I hit a spell. Loot. Yes. That hurts my feelings. So, realistically, I need to cycle into exactly Consider here. That's a bummer. And I failed. That hurts. And Bring to Light. Yep. I do think I was supposed to go for it last turn. I just missed. Because, like, even if I don't go for it, they get Go Blank, or they can just get Nahiri and exile the Ascendancy. Div miss it. Wow. No respect. Okay. Let's fetch. Draw. Yikes. Alright, we just have to pass the turn. So they got K command, Abrupt Decay, Bring to Light off Niv Mizzet. So we're just dead. They have the Abrupt Decay for Ascendancy. Yeah. And they can K command to discard our Gigantha. I think one of my concerns with this deck is that 2 copies of Sylvan Awakening doesn't feel like enough. Maybe I'm not playing the deck correctly. That's entirely possible too. But it just seems like there's not enough of that effect in here. Draw. There you are. Needed you a few looks ago. All right, I'm going to pick it up. We're not going to win this. I'm just going to go to match number 5. We're 2-2, not the best record, but maybe we can squeak out a win and finish this with a positive record. If you're looking for more great Magic the Gathering content, definitely check out the Eternal Glory podcast. It is myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We primarily discuss Legacy. That said, a lot of what we talk about transcends all formats. We're available on all major podcast platforms. The 5th and final match. I believe we were on the play for all 5 matches. Let's see if we can finish this with a positive record. That would make me pretty happy. Okay, I think that this is probably a keep. We can go turn 1 Triumph, turn 2 Hinterland Harbor, and then Sylvan Carotid. Okay. Whoa, that was not the land I wanted to play there. That was a misclick. Thank you, Gigantha, for popping out. You son of a gun. That stinks. I guess it's fine. I can still put the land into play off of Growth Spiral, I suppose. I don't know. But I don't really want to play Spiral next turn. I want to play Sylvan Carotid. Draw. Another cruise. Beautiful. Just what the doctor ordered. Okay, so now they can play their Burning Tree. This looks like the old green devotion list, but I'm not sure quite yet. Ascendancy. Okay, let's just play it. Pass the turn. Kiora. Sure. Sylvan? Omnath. So Omnath's probably something we want to play here. White, green. Play the Omnath, draw a card. Okay, so we get the first trigger off the Omnath here. And then fetch. Go grab an island. Now we get the second trigger for a bunch of mana. Let's cast Growth Spiral. And auto yield to these. Yes, I'd love to loot. Okay. Maybe I was supposed to discard the chains there. I'm not sure. Because I just lost it on a mana. I'm gonna discard it. So I can add a blue here. Play chain to the rocks. Loot. Yes. Discard the Ketria. And then remove their Burning Tree Emissary to take them off Devotion a little bit. We still have 4 available mana. I could cast the Cruise here. I think that's probably the play. Alright, so we're going to exile this stuff. Alright, so we have a big character that doesn't do a whole lot now. We'll loot again. I think I'd rather have Cruise than Consider. And then we have the Sylvan for next turn. Oh, that is, sorry, I thought I could still play a land. My bad. And now we just have to pass. Alright, so they've tapped their forest, and now they're considering adding a mana, it looks like. I don't know. You can have an elf. Alright, untapping that with Kiora. Now what? 3 mana. Hydra, okay. Sure. Draw. So I think we want to start on the Sylvan Awakening. Try to hit here. Discard a Triumph. Yes. That was annoying. I was really hoping for a spell there. That's unfortunate. So I can play a land. No, we're fine. We're fine. Although I probably should have played my land first. That was kind of dumb of me. Oh no, I drew the land. That's right. I drew the untap land. That's what it was. Okay, so let's tap these for mana and cast Treasure Cruise. Okay, so this is going to trigger Ascendancy and untap our creature lands. Yes. Discard the character. That card doesn't matter. Okay, and it looks like we're gonna get the combo off here. Okay, let's cast Consider. We are officially doing the thing. Discard land. No, I would love another Ascendancy. And our opponent has conceded the game. But things were just about to get fun. That's a bummer. Alright, so Mono Green Devotion. I don't know how good Braiding Flames actually is here. We do have an Aether Gust. Maybe we board in like, I don't know. Treasure Cruise seems kind of slow. Alright, I'm going to try this out. Alright, and now we will reveal our Gigantha once again. Sure. Our opponent's taking a mulligan to 6. We're going to keep this. Forest Pass. Just going to play Triumph. The goal here is to blow them out with Radiant Flames, but they didn't play a 1-drop on turn 1, which is a little bit concerning. For that plan, at least. I could Chain to the Rocks here, but I don't want to. I'll keep that. Hydra, okay. This seems like a pretty good turn to cast the Radiant Flames, in my opinion. Alright, so red, blue, white, Radiant Flames for 3. Ugh. Get out of here, Devotion. Vivian. Sure. Why not? Let's play a Hinterland Harbor and let's play Omnath. Blue, green, white. Pass the turn. And then next turn we can look at fetch land into Jeskai Ascendancy plus some other stuff. We can also look into fetch land into Gigantha, so that way we can go nuts with Ascendancy. Which might actually just be the play here. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so now we make 4 mana. Let's put Gigantha to our hand. Triumph. So this should cast Gigantha for 5. And then we can play a Chain to the Rocks and remove the plant, so that way the plant doesn't fight anything and kill it. Pass the turn. Then next turn we can actually do the thing that I wanted to do this whole video, which is Gigantha Ascendancy go bananas. You have plant. Did I forget to attack last turn? I think I did. I could have attacked and I didn't. I was so excited about the Gigantha play, I forgot to attack. I just really, really want to go nuts with the Gigantha Ascendancy. Can you blame me? Meteor Goal. I don't even know what that does. Doesn't sound good. Non-land permanent. So they can blow up my mountain with Chain to the Rocks on it? Oh, it's non-land. Well, at least they let me keep Gigantha. That's what really... Oh my! Oh my! Did that really just happen? Can't believe I'm gonna get to do this. This is so awesome. We're officially doing the thing. Yes. Okay. We're off to the races. Tap Gigantha. And let's cast this iteration. This is so awesome. Oh, this is bananas. Discard the Keratin. We had another iteration. That's so broken. We'll take the Growth Spiral. The land can go on the bottom and we can cast Radiant Flames. Green, white, red, blue, blue, tap Gigantha. We'll cast another Expressive Iteration. Deck's too good. Yes. Discard the Fable Passage, that's fine. And a concession. So we didn't get to do the whole thing, but we got to achieve Jeskai Ascendancy, which makes my day. Like, I'm so happy about that. So if we go back to the deck list, I thought the deck list was mostly fine. Being a combo player at heart, I feel like 2 Sylvan Awakening is not enough. There's games where I felt like I definitely struggled with having a Jeskai Ascendancy because we couldn't find Sylvan, where it would have been a very easy win if we just had more Sylvans. I might be in the minority on this. Who knows? But this deck was certainly fun. I would definitely play it again. I'd love for someone to explain to me why Emrakul's in the board. That'd be nice. But yeah, this deck was great. Thanks for watching. Take care. Keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.